Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is July 13th, 2024, and we are getting into the volume 222 of me answering your immigration related questions. As always, before beginning this video, I'm gonna mention, as I mentioned in every video on this channel, I am not an immigration attorney. This is not legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State with their visa bulletin, which is currently on August 2024. Well, because we're not in August yet, it's not active just yet, but the August 2024 visa bulletin is out. I do have the video on it. So let's start with the very first question from JB and Dean 1835. Hello, I have a question. I filed for my I-765 C9 and it was delivered at the USCIS lockbox on June 4, and it have been more than 30 days. I didn't get any receipt notice. What should I do? And then there is a comment underneath. Marzia Kasem 4323 says, hi, did you pay fee too? Because mine was returned because of payment. Exactly, it says the payment amount is not correct. It happens. So GB and Dean, first let me address your comment. 30 days, around now it's been more than 30 days. So it's been June 4, so now it's been 30 plus, so about 40 days it has been. I have seen the cases where the mail is sitting in the lockbox for about a month and a half. So I would give it another couple weeks, and then if there is nothing, then reach out to USCIS. But I have seen the cases where mail packages are sitting for that long in the PO boxes before they're actually addressed. I know it is annoying, but there's really not much we can do. I really don't know. It might be based on where you're sending, which service center you're sending the application package to. So whichever state you're from, whichever application it is, it depends. Some of the service centers, they might be a little bit busier and they get to their PO boxes a little bit, there's a little bit of time before they get to their PO boxes. But at the end of the day, that's why I always recommend, if there is an opportunity for you to file the application online, which 765 does. I'm not sure for C9 if it is available online or not, but I'm sure you do have your reasoning to file this application by mail. But if you can file the application online, do that, because as soon as you submit the payment online, that's it. The application is already delivered and is already basically on the desk, on the desktop of the immigration officer who's going to be reviewing it. They just need to get to it, but it is already delivered. So yeah, JB and Dean, I know it is annoying, but give it at least 2 more weeks. And if you don't get the notice of receipt within that time, then reach out to USCIS through their phone number. It's gonna take forever. It's getting harder and harder to reach them over the phone. But yeah, give them some more time. And then Marzia Kasem, to you, is, did you pay the fee because Maine was returned because of payment? Okay, so there's more comments from Marzia, so I'm gonna get to that in a moment. Let me post a response here. So Marzia says, thank you for the video. Each time I talk to attorney, first thing about charge. Your video very helpful, Marzia. Thank you. I'm glad they are helpful. Yeah, that's how attorney do it. At the end of the day, they are there for the money. So yeah, they want the money anyway. So Marzia Kasem has a question, another question, which is the main question, I guess, here. Hi, thank you for the video. I applied and sent by mail. It was returned and asking support documents and payment. My question is, what support documents should be, or only payment paper it mean? Which is form G? Okay, so now it makes sense. So you tried to pay with a credit card and they returned it because they did not get the G1450. G1450 is the authorization to charge. That's why I always recommend everyone, if you are sending the app, well, first of all, Marzia, honestly, it would be much easier to just submit this form online, and because you can pay with the credit card once you're done filling out the form online, and it's already received by USCIS, and the fee, you cannot confuse the fee. You don't need any additional authorizations because you're doing it online. But for everyone who's watching this video, if you are submitting by mail, do the check. Don't do the credit card, do the check. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen similar situations like this, not getting the number correct for the credit card, not getting the name correct, not getting the expiration correct. Just send them the check. But Marzia, in your situation, since you already started the process, since you already sent them the payment information, they are asking for the authorization. So I'm gonna find it for you on the USCIS website. You're gonna have to print it out, and depending, because if they sent you the whole application package to you, back to you, you have an option. You can either say, you know what, they sent me the whole application back, let me just do it online. If they only sent you the notice saying, hey, we need additional stuff, which is a 1450, which is authorization for credit card transaction, in that case, here it is. I'm gonna, you know what, instead of giving you the PDF, let me see if I can, yeah, so I'm gonna give you this page for the form, and then you can click on this form G1450 right here, which will open the PDF, because I don't want to give the PDF link. It's, yeah, I don't know, it's a little bit of a security, you know, issue, might be for some people. So I'll just respond to this. And yeah, so if they did not send you the whole application back, and they just expect the G1450, obviously it is easier to just fill it out and send it to them, and that's it. That way they will be able to process the payment and start up your application. Okay, let's move on. Let me copy this, and we're gonna move on to the next one from Mariama Jallo. Hello sir, please, what is the wait time for Senegal when you are current on the visa bulletin, please? Alright Miriam, so I'm gonna leave your comment for everyone. If anyone is from Senegal, please, and if you're from Senegal and if you had your interview already scheduled and you know the day of the interview, please respond to Miriam and let her know how long you waited for your interview to be scheduled. Miriam, on average, the countries that are not as busy, not as heavy immigration flow, is about a year wait. You know, sometimes it can be as little as 6 months people are waiting. Sometimes it can be a little bit more, year and few months, year and 6 months. But on average, countries that are not that busy, US embassies that are not that busy in those countries, about a year wait. Obviously it can change within the next year. It can be less, it can be more, situations change. But this is what we have as of right now. What you can do, I'm gonna give you, if you have been current on the visa bulletin for at least 3 months, and I say at least 3 months because if you have been current on the visa bulletin, which means that your immigrant visa has been available now for at least 3 months, most likely your interview is already scheduled by the US Embassy. In 99% cases, within 3 months of your immigrant visa being available, they schedule the interview. You just don't know it yet because they can only announce the interview 30 days before the interview date, like I always mention in pretty much every video. So if your interview is scheduled for, say, December 2024, you're not going to find out until November 2024. So what you can do is you can reach out, if you have been waiting for at least 3 months, being current, if you have been current for at least 3 months, reach out to the local US Embassy in Senegal. Here it is, Embassy in Dakar, here's their phone number, and let them know, say, hey, I've been current for whatever, or you can say my visa, my immigrant visa has been available for that long, for about 3 months now, or for however long, and say that you wanna check and see when the interview was scheduled for. Over the phone, it's not an official announcement, so they might be able to tell you. If they don't tell you, don't be upset, don't try to argue, say, thank you very much for your help, and that's it, have a good day. No point to argue with government officials. Maybe they can tell you, instead of telling you the exact interview date for yourself, they can tell you approximately how long the wait is, which also going to be obviously very helpful. So it's worth a shot. But again, for everyone who's watching these videos, please, under no circumstances, argue or try to prove your point to any of the government officials, whether USCIS, whether US Embassy, whether NVC, whoever. Pointless. In fact, you might make it worse, a lot worse for yourself. So don't do that. Let's move on to the next one from Zodiac Nub. Hello, sir. Priority date 2011, September, category F3. How much time left? All right, let's take a look. I'm assuming you're in all chargeability area, so all other countries other than China, India, Mexico, Philippines. So that's what I'm going to look at. So we have on the graph A, currently the priority dates as of August, they will be in August, on April 2010. And you are in September 2011, which means that you have still April, so September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So you're about 6-7 months away from becoming current on the visa bulletin. That is if we see 1 month every month movement on the visa bulletin. Right now for you, it's a perfect time to stay and keep checking every month the new visa bulletin out. As soon as it is out, keep checking. I do make the videos on this channel as soon as the new visa bulletin is out. So if you're not subscribed yet, you can subscribe here. And yeah, so if you see the movement 1 month every month, about 6-7 months before you're current on the visa bulletin. Once you're current, your immigrant visa is available. Depending on where you are in the world and how busy US Embassy is, then you're waiting for the interview. Your interview is scheduled, but you don't know when it is scheduled because they do not announce it earlier than 30 days. Very rarely 60 days, but most of the times 30 days. So you're looking at about 6-7 months before getting current, and then on average about a year wait for the interviews. So I would say, you know, if you are not from a country that is too busy, where US Embassy is too busy, about a year and a half. All right, let's move on to the next one from Ronald Gia 5230. Sir, I'm from Philippines. My filing date of our application is on October 2006, and I see next of August 2024. The A4 category will process April 2006. This means I'm near to process. My sister is filing me and my family to come to USA. All right, so you're in F4 category and you're in October 2006. So let's double check Philippines for August and see what's going on. So February 2004 looks like Philippines, and you are, how did you get to April 2006? April 2006. Ah, you're looking at the graph B. Okay, so here's the thing. If you have not been documentarily qualified yet, and since you are in October 2006, I don't think you have been documentarily qualified yet. So yes, your documentary, your NVC portal is going to be opening up pretty soon because you're there. You're very close to being current on the graph B, which shows us when the NVC portal is going to be opening up for you. So right now is a perfect time to start getting ready for the documentary qualification process. So work together with your sister. She will be very involved in documentary qualification process because she now has to, she already established the relationship with the I-130. Now she will be establishing being the successful sponsor, petitioner sponsor for you. So she will be providing some financial documents like tax transcripts. She will be signing the affidavit of support. She will be, or you will be filling out, depending on how you guys figure it out, because it's going to be your DS-260. So you will be filling out the DS-260, paying some fees. You will have to provide a police report. I do have the video on this channel. It's called Documentarily Qualified. What does that mean? And it is a video. The thumbnail is like the dark, I think, New York City at night with the yellow, just like all the videos look on the channel. Documentarily qualified, what does that mean? And in that video I show an actual NVC portal that was already documentarily qualified, so you can see everything that needs to be filled out, the fees that you need to pay, the documents that you need to submit. So the better you prepare, basically right now, you know, the earlier you start preparing, and your sister as well. Once the NVC portal is open, you can submit everything and get documentarily qualified, hopefully on the first submission, and that's it. And from then on, you're just waiting for the availability of the immigrant visa, which you're looking at roughly at another 2 years, because if we look at the graph A, Philippines is on February 2004. So about 2 more years before the availability of the immigrant visa. So yeah, start preparing for the documentary qualification, and hopefully that goes smooth for you. All right, let's move on to the next one from Daniela M. Huda 2000. Hello sir, I am an American citizen. Husband lives in Morocco, married on May 17, 2023 in Morocco. Filed I-130 July 24, 2023. Case has been under review since September 2023. So getting close to a year now. Nebraska Service Center shows on the receipt, but on the USCIS web it doesn't break up the centers anymore. It only shows all centers. It says that the process is taking longer than expected and you will be notified if you need to take any action. Nothing is outstanding at this time. We were told by a lawyer consultation to file I-129F, even though it most likely will be denied, but it may push the I-130 along. Filed I-129F and USCIS had received it on May 11, 2024. We're also trying to decide if I should go see him for the first time in February 2025. And any update on process time. Thank you for your time. Daniela, thank you very much for your question. So let's take a look really quickly. I want to see the processing times for I-130 because if you do have your case outside of normal processing times, you can definitely submit a case inquiry, which I would definitely recommend. Honestly, over the 129F, I don't think that was necessary at all, and I haven't personally seen any cases, but again, I might be wrong. What do I know? But let's take a look. So U.S. citizen filing for spouse, and we got all service centers. So you're in Nebraska, so all service centers, I guess they have average time. So at 14.5 months as of right now, and you have been waiting now since September 2023. So you're not at the 14.5 months. So it says that the process is taking longer than expected. So where does it say that the process is taking longer than expected? Because the processing times show 14.5 months, which means that your case is still within the process. Keep in mind, it's 80% of the cases. And again, you might get your approval of your I-130 tomorrow. In fact, you know, the I-130s for immediate relative categories, they are processed a lot faster than really anything else, because they know that once the I-130 is approved, the immigrant visa is already available. So they try to get to it quickly. But yeah, I guess now that you have the I-129F petition for alien fiance submitted, which I'm assuming it's also processed in Nebraska. Let's see how long that takes. About 8 months. I don't think it was necessary. Here's the thing. Here's the problem that I'm seeing with this whole I-129F. I-129F, yes, it does have intent to immigrate, of course, because it's fiancé. But still, it is a non-immigrant visa, because the visa itself, it does not give a right to immigrate. You only get the right to immigrate to the United States if the marriage actually happens. So the purpose of the fiancé or spouse visa is, in most of the cases, a fiancé to travel to United States so that you guys can meet and you decide for yourself if you're going to continue with the marriage or not. And then if you continue with the marriage, you do the I-130. But it's fine. It's not going to, I don't think in any way it's going to make it any worse. I'm not sure if it's going to make it any better, but it's not going to make it any worse. As far as your question about the traveling to see your husband, it's only a benefit. It's only a good thing. First of all, for you, you know, obviously, for him, obviously, but for looking from the perspective of immigration services, when he's going to be going through the interview, getting his immigrant visa, it is a huge plus to show that his wife came to see him all these times It just establishes the reality of the marriage, and it is important. It is very important in family reunification cases where it is a marriage, because unfortunately there's a lot of fraud going on in that department, the fictitious marriages, so far so forth. So they are a little bit stricter whenever it comes to interviews on establishing the reality of the relationship. They don't do it whenever it comes to children, whenever it comes to parents, obviously, because you prove the relationship by showing a birth certificate. That's it. But in marriages, they dig in a little bit more. So you traveling there, it's only a huge plus from the immigration standpoint. But yes, at the end of the day, your case is still looks like within the processing times, and just give it a little bit more time. Hopefully it's sooner than later. I know it can be annoying, and if people are watching, for everyone who's watching, I'm an immigrant myself, and I do have an I-130 petition myself that I'm waiting on, and I have another 13 years to wait on. So when I say patience, I completely understand it. It's not something that I just say. Okay, let's move on to the next one from user UK. Sorry, sometimes YouTube does not show me the names. Good afternoon, I am F1. My priority date is October 2019. I'm at NVC from 2022. I'm in Jamaica. My dad is a US citizen. All right, so I'm assuming you're already documentarily qualified. Let's take a look at the visa bulletin. So you're from Jamaica, so you're in all chargeability area. So F1 for all chargeability area is October 2015. And then graph B is September 2017. So you might not be documentarily qualified yet because you're in October 2019. Yeah, so your case is at NVC, but your NVC portal, and for everyone, if you want to add details, submit a separate comment and let me know. But judging by the visa bulletin, you're not documentarily qualified yet. So when you log into your NVC portal, it's still closed. You really cannot do anything there. You cannot submit any forms. You cannot make any payments, because you are still not current on the graph B of the visa bulletin. So you're in October 2019, and the graph B is on September 2017, which means that you have about 2 more years before your NVC portal is going to be opening up. So 2 more years before you can start your documentary qualification process, and then about 4 more years before your immigrant visa is available. All right, so let me post a response. And we're gonna move on to the next one from Ifsha Ashik 5072. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. Hello, my husband is a permanent resident and filed I-130 for me in June 1st, 2021, and also my priority date is 1st June 2021. But my case is actively being reviewed by USCIS since 20 February 2022. I'm from India. Please let me the next update. All right, Ifsha Ashik, thank you for your question. So you're in F2A category. Your priority date is June 2021, and according to you, the case is still with USCIS. So let me take a look at the visa bulletin and see what's going on, because let's see. So you are in June 2021, and looks like, well, here's the good news, right? Because you have been waiting for quite that long, and I'm gonna double check because I want to see the processing times and see what the processing times are for F2A permanent resident. There you go. I'll do all service centers and see approximately how long it takes. Great. All right, so let's try National Benefit Center. Okay, 59 months, which is not very accurate. Let's see old field offices. 79 months. Yeah, so a lot of times it's pointless to look at the processing times. In some situations it is, not in this case, unfortunately. But what I would recommend you do is go to USCIS and check the case status. I'm going to give you the link for the case status. If your case is definitely still with USCIS. But judging by the visa bulletin, you still have about, let's see what months it is on. So for India, it is on November 2021, and you are in June. Okay, so you're in June 2021, and it's already on November 2021. So your immigrant visa is already available. assuming that you're I-130, so I'm not sure why USCIS has taken that long, because usually USCIS, they are waiting a little bit longer in the situations where immigrant visa is not yet available. So they have time, so they take their time. In your situation, however, because you are already, so let's see, June 2021, and it's in November 20, so yeah, you're before. So yeah, so you are already current on the visa bulletin, and you're saying that your case is still with USCIS. So here's what I would recommend you do. There is this case status online page where you can enter your case number. And so you're entering your receipt number, and then you enter the code, and it tells you the, so I'm assuming you already done that, because you say that you can't really submit the case inquiry, unfortunately, because USCIS processing times, it shows these obnoxious processing times that are not accurate, at least not for you, not for really anyone for F2A, because nobody in F2A category should be waiting that long, because the availability of the immigrant visa is a lot sooner. So that tells me that the processing times are not updated yet on USCIS website. Yeah, that is a little bit strange why it's taking so long. I would recommend your spouse who is in the US, who's a permanent resident, so your husband, I would recommend, there is a video on this channel, it's called How to Resolve Problems with USCIS. And in that video I talk about reaching out beyond the, because you're in a situation where you really cannot do much with USCIS. You can't submit a case inquiry, you can't really call them and say, hey guys, what's going on? Because they're gonna look at their processing times and say, oh, it shows 5 years, it shows 6 years. Which is not accurate. It's not accurate because it does not take that long on the visa bulletin. So the immigrant visa is already available. Why are they dragging out the I-130? It makes no sense. So that's why I'm saying, I'm recommending that your husband try to reach out for help outside now of USCIS. It would be helpful to reach out to USCIS once over the phone, record the names, record the conversation on what they tell you, just to say that you tried to resolve this with USCIS, but it's completely pointless. But for your husband, check out the local elected officials, senators, congressmen, see who is elected, depending on their state. Check out their websites, see which ones are dealing with immigration issues. Whoever is, and they say it, they have, all of them, they have public relations and the issues that they deal with. Reach out to that elected official and request for help, explain the situation, explain that it is taking this really long time now, since you are, let's see, June 2021. So yeah, over 3 years your case is pending with USCIS. Meanwhile, your immigrant visa is technically already available because you are current on the visa bulletin. And still, you didn't even go through the documentary qualification process. So it's definitely taking too long. And request for help from these elected officials, because they can reach out directly on behalf, they have people who are dealing with these particular things, and through elected official, your husband might be able to a little bit speed up the process and them actually take a look, because it's not normal. And you're in a situation where you really cannot do much because the times are not updated. So hopefully that's helpful, and hopefully you can resolve this situation. If you have any questions along the way, you're more than welcome to come back to this channel and ask them. All right, let's move on to the next one from Eldeka Hema 9846. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. This news update, I must say, is correct. The rest, I don't know if they get updates. Well, I'm glad this is helpful. Thank you for your kind comment. Let's move on to the next one from Gloria G3S. My I-765 application was returned for correct fees. So I'm assuming for incorrect fees. When sending the package back, do we resign the application? No. So in both cases, whether they send you the whole application package with your actual application. You don't have to resign it. Just make sure to include the notice where they said you did not pay the correct fee, you need to pay the correct fee. Include that, and obviously include the correct fee, and then send it to them so that they know that the application was returned and now you're returning back corrected application package. And obviously in the situations where they don't send you the whole application package, in those situations as well, you don't need to resubmit another application. So yeah, again, that's why I recommend the applications like I-765. If it is available to be filed online, file it online. All right, let's move on to the next one from Violeto Malobo. Violeta, thank you so much. Violeta says merci and super thanks. Violeta, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate that. And there's a comment from Violeta. Let's see. She says, hi sir, thank you for your video, who is very helpful. We follow your advice to manage our case with the embassy and we see the result. My husband was current at June 01. Our priority date was 25th, July 21st for F2A visa. When the June visa bulletin was released at May, we have contacted the embassy to ask them if they are busy and if we can ask the NVC to send my husband's case. 2 days after, they told us we don't have your case yet and we don't do nothing without his case. All right, but at July we will have availability for the interview. Okay, I screened the mail and I sent to the NVC, and at June 5th we have received the interview letter from the NVC for July 10th at Paris Embassy. Wow! The interview ended with, congratulations sir, your visa is approved and now the status is issued. We started this process at July 2021 and he got his visa at July 2024. Your advice was so helpful. Thank you for your work. Violeta, thank you so much for giving the update. I really appreciate it. And hopefully your comment for everyone who's watching this video. I keep saying, this is how you have to treat your case. This is your case. You see what Violeta has done here. She done her research. She been on top of the case. As soon as the time came, she reached out. Professional, organized throughout the whole process. If you treat your case this way, like it is your case, which it is, this is the result that there will be. Listen, there's still potentially, there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be people who are rude from the government, who don't want to help you, who mess up your case, who make the mistakes. You make the mistake. You don't pay the correct fee. There will be things that will go wrong, regardless. But the more you do research, the more you're staying on top of your case, the more you see that the time has come, reach out. Don't let it go 3-4 years not knowing where in the process. I don't know where in the process we are. I don't know why it's taking that long. I didn't even check the processing times. I didn't even check the visa bulletin. I don't even know that my immigrant visa has been available all this time to me. And my case is still with USCIS. Don't let it get to that point, because the longer it you know, from the issue it goes, the harder it is to resolve the issue. So Violeta, thank you so much. Congratulations. That is fantastic news. And on this fantastic news, that's all the time we have. So thank you everyone for watching, for your questions, and yeah, stay on top of your case and treat it like your case, like your own case, which it is. So God bless everyone, and see you all in the next video.